I think when you, I think, and Martin and I have talked about this a lot, especially with Caitlin, because Martin and I talked about last week how Caitlin plays in Iowa. In Iowa, where she plays is like, what is it, like 10? What is it, like 10 miles from Indiana, and where the Indiana Fever players?
It's a little more than that. I know Andrea Carter said it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive.
4 or 5 hour drive is what it is. Like
Mm-hmm.
that is when you talk about a turning point in women's college basketball. What I thought was interesting is we go from Caitlin and Angel, a very organic, a very kind of out of the blue type of rivalry and a connection now where they'll always be tied together no matter what happens from this point on. You go from that to, at the time last season, I would say the most anticipated WNBA season of all time, because you have the Aces and their super team, and then you've got the Liberty and their super team, and obviously they're on the crash course, and then we get the crash course, and it was an exceptional WNBA finals. And then you go right from that to these amazing freshmen that are putting the world on notice on top of what we already have with Caitlin Angel. March Madness in the tournament this year is going to be exceptional to watch, from LSU being defending champs to can Caitlin win her championship as she rides off into the sunset into Indiana to, South Carolina having their first back-to-back undefeated season. Can they get the chip this season? Plus Paige is back and actually in the tournament this year, right? Can she get, like, there's a lot of storylines, and we're going to go from that to, once again, the most anticipated WNBA season of all time, because Skylar's in Seattle and Nneka's in Seattle and New York's reloaded and fully back, and Connecticut's reloaded and fully back, and like there's so many great Phoenix. You have so much stuff happening. There's so much stuff happening across the league, right?
Crazy.
Dallas is doing what they're doing. Atlanta's doing what there's so much happening across the league, to the point where, and Martin says this all the time, the beautiful thing about women's college basketball and where it's at right now is the fans of Caitlin Clark, even if they've never watched WNBA basketball before, they're going to watch Indiana Fever basketball.
Yeah.
The fans of Angel Reese, if they've never watched it, wherever she goes, they're going to watch her. Same Aaliyah Edwards, Rakia Cameron, like whoever gets drafted, all of those fans who have probably never tapped into the WNBA before, they are going to tap into the WNBA this year just for the simple fact of wanting to see how those girls are doing. So much so, and I've even said this to Martin, like, I know that last season, the WNBA set a bunch of records for attendance and sellouts. This season, whatever records were set last year, this season's going to smash all those records. All those attendance records, all those sellouts, those ticket sales, merchandise, revenue, ratings, all those records that were set last year, especially from all those records are going to be smashed just off the strength of, again, that word you used earlier, the personality, the marketability, the fact that these girls actually mean something to these fans. They're gonna want to follow them to the next level. Like this, I think. And we saw the Fever do this last year with Aaliyah Boston. I think they were the only team really last year that really did this the way they did it. Like the Fever leaned into Aaliyah Boston being the number one overall, leaned into her coming from South Carolina, and really, really leaned into the fact that, hey, if you've never watched WNBA basketball before, that's fine. But you can watch us because we have Aaliyah Boston. I think more teams are going to do that this year, because I think more teams recognize, hey, we have a lot of box office names, big names coming out of the draft. We have to capitalize on this. This WNBA season is going to be the best season ever from an on the court standpoint, from marketability standpoint, sellouts, attendance, like all any metric you could possibly use to measure greatness, anticipation, and all that stuff. The WNBA is going to set all of it, and it has a lot to do with going from college to the WNBA, because it's not just the players, it's the fans too. And that's going to keep happening. Those fans are going to continue to migrate from college to the WNBA. So that's another big thing too as well.
Yeah, and before you go, Chris, what's cool now too, like Paige is staying. So guess what? Next year's draft is going to be the Paige draft. It's going to be lit. So there might be we're still waiting to hear if people are actually coming out, right? So we know Caitlin's coming. So this is the Caitlin draft. It's lit, right? It's lit. Not to say it doesn't matter who else comes, but like this is the Caitlin Clark draft now. So that's already set, right? And we have other great players. We will have other great players coming out. We know this. But like the fact that Paige is staying back, who else is going to stay back, right? So we're set for like the next 3, 4, 5 drafts to be. We're
going to have the Hannah Juicy draft in a couple of years. Like we're going to continue to have. It's going to continue to be that cycle, bro.
it's an abundance of amazing talent at our fingertips, and we have a front row seat. You just have to be hip to it. Just got to open your damn eyes and really tap into great high quality basketball. So yeah, I'm overjoyed for what this season, what Mark was talking about, what this season's gonna be like in the W, especially because there's some pundits who say, oh, Caitlin's gonna dominate, she's gonna be up for maybe MVP, which I think is crazy. Don't put those expectations on her. But the fact that people are saying that, these current WNBA players, they're gonna be licking their chops to get on Caitlin Clark. Oh, you thought this was college, baby?
Indiana's first game, I think, is against. If I'm not mistaken, Indiana's first game was against like the Liberty or the Sun.
I think it's the Sun. I think it's the
way.
Thomas.
She gonna get a welcome to the league moment. I told Martin she'll get a welcome to the league moment real quick.
Oh yeah, she gonna realize we're not in Iowa no more. This ain't Big Ten.
Yeah, we play physical ball up here.
that flopping stuff. You gonna feel my pain. You gonna feel my defense. Like Natasha Cloud, I can't wait to see that because she is somebody who lives to be the main character. Yeah. Remember what she did against Sabrina? Of course, they lost. The Mystics lost to Liberty, but Cloud locked her ass down and then also was putting in mad buckets left and right. So yeah, bro, this WNBA season is gonna be lit. Lit as hell.
Lit. And you got dogs in the league, man. Like you just named one, Natasha Cloud. Like you got dog. You're right, bro. Like they waiting for her right now.
Yeah.
Like they're because as a competitor, you're excited because you know she's bringing attention, but also you're excited to play against her. You're excited to get a shot. So it's like, girl, you've been blowing by girls at Ohio State. Come on over here to Vegas, baby. Come on out here to Vegas, baby.
I think about this conversation reminds me of when Shaq like 17, 18 when they kept having those conversations about like could the 17, 18 Warriors beat the 2000 Lakers. And Shaq was like, okay, yeah, send him down to the hole. I'll lay a hit on him. Yeah. Caitlin Clark is going. She's going to get a couple. She'll get more than a couple again in that game. Yeah. She's going, but like that's to Martin's point. Like it's two-sided. Like I think it was who was it? Erica Wheeler was like, I got people who I ain't talked to in years asking me for tickets. Right. Like there's the excitement because it's more eyes, but it's also like, okay, they think you're the one. They think you the best thing since sliced bread. I'm gonna show them that you're not. I'm gonna show.
Right.
That's that like you were saying earlier, Chris. That's that competitive spirit that like these women don't have to like each other just because they like there's that healthy competitive respect, but they don't gotta be buddy and that we talk all the time about how there's 12 teams, there's 144 players in the league. Like it's already super competitive within the teams themselves because they got to get a spot. We had Chaz Franklin on the show a couple weeks ago. He was saying he's never seen someone the caliber of A'ja Wilson who is set in stone in the league. And he was like, she plays like she's trying to get on a roster. This is the best player in the league we talk about. Now you start walking down the roster, you start getting the roster spots 10, 11, and 12, and you think they're not going to have that just as much competitive. Yeah, it's going to be good. She gonna have a couple of welcome to the league moments when she start getting on those podcasts next year. Who's your welcome to the league moment? Hey man, they laid some hits on me.
Yeah, Diana Taurasi. I know she gave like a forearm shiver to Kelsey Plum last season, and I think Kelsey's like, yeah, that's just how it is, But yeah, she go. It's coming.
Diana's a goon, dog. Diana's a straight up goon. I see it with my own eyes in person. Diana's a goon, bro. She's a straight up gangster. She's like
she really is.
She be getting stuff off, like those matchups are going to be super fun. So yeah, like again, it's the Caitlin draft, and then her rookie season is going to make for a super anticipating WNBA season. I echo your take, Marcus. Like we're going to see those more records get broken this season, and it's just going to be super interesting to see this translation from all this excitement in the college game over to the W. It's not going to be everybody, of course, but we will feel and see the effects for sure. Not too much time left.
Jackson, though. Don't sleep on her. That is a pro ready player right now. Her size, her skill set. Oh my gosh. You
Yes.
be looking what she's doing against South Carolina, LSU. She gonna get hers.
She gonna get
And
hers.
She's gonna get hers.
She's gonna be she'll be a top 3. Well, she'll be top 5 for
Yeah.
sure. Should be a top 3 pick. She's for sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Oh, I'm so glad you said that because we need to keep saying her name. She's special, bro. She's special.
She really is.
Can't wait to see her at the next level. Absolutely. So glad you said that.